Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience. We want to talk about a very important topic, but first I want to let you know who I have with me. I have our NCSO victim advocate, Tasha Addison. She will discuss some information for parents about social media and staying safe. And we usually don't identify victims of crime for obvious reasons, but today we also have Amy Weiss and her son Aaron, and they will talk about being a victim of cybercrime. Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. Cyberbullying can occur through SMS, text, and apps, or online in social media forums or gaming where people can view, participate in, or share content. Cyberbullying includes sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone else. It can include sharing personal or private information about someone else, causing embarrassment or humiliation. Some cyberbullying crosses the line into unlawful or criminal behavior. The most common places where cyberbullying occurs are social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Text messaging and messaging apps on mobile or tablet devices, instant messaging, direct messaging, and online chatting over the internet. Online forums, chat rooms, and message boards such as Reddit, on email, and online gaming communities. With the prevalence of social media and digital forums, comments, photos, posts, and content shared by individuals can often be viewed by strangers as well as acquaintances. The content an individual shares online, both their personal content as well as any negative, mean, or hurtful content, creates a kind of permanent public record of their views, activities, and behavior. This public record can be thought of as an online reputation, which may be accessible to schools, employers, colleges, clubs, and others who may be researching an individual now or in the future. Cyberbullying can harm the online reputations of everyone involved, not just the person being bullied, but those doing the bullying or participating. Cyberbullying has unique concerns that it can be persistent, because digital devices offer an ability to immediately and continuously communicate 24 hours a day. It can be permanent. Most information communicated electronically is permanent and public, if not reported or removed. A negative online reputation, including for those who bully, can impact college admissions, employment, and other areas of life. And it's hard to notice because teachers and parents may not overhear or see cyberbullying taking place. It is harder to recognize. On August the 1st, 2025, NCSO deputies were dispatched to a residence in Yulee in reference to a report of threatening and harassing social media posts directed at the complainant's daughter, who was the victim. The complainant was notified by the victim of concerning posts being made on TikTok account. The complainant showed deputies several screenshots from the account, which was believed to be from a former male Yulee Middle School student, which showed his name, picture, and the Yulee Hornet logo. A portion of the post contained the following. On 8/11/2025 at 9 a.m., which was the first day of school, you all shall pay. You all will pay the price. You're all in so much trouble, y'all suffer and feel my wrath for what y'all did. I know where you all live. Let the games begin, and you will feel a great amount of pain. I don't want to kill you, not yet. That would waste all the care I put into this, the measurements, the precision, the practice. But you'll be perfect. I've traced your body 1,000 times in my mind. When I peel you open, it won't be torture, it'll be art. I want to feel what it's like to be you, to move in your skin, to wear your face, speak with your voice, just for a day. Then I'll hang you up beside the others, a gallery of empty husks, and maybe I'll find someone who loves you and wear you when I take them apart too. Due to the activity on this account and content, numerous parents throughout the community called the Yulee Middle School and the sheriff's office out of fear for their children's safety, and several were going to keep their child home the first day of school. During the investigation, one of NCSO's Yulee Middle School resource deputies arranged a meeting with a student initially believed to be responsible for the TikTok account and their parents. During that meeting, the parents explained they had parental controls in place to prevent their child from downloading or using social media apps. They also reported the account to TikTok, which was subsequently removed. However, the next day, a second account was created using the same child's name and likeness without their permission. On August 13th, after receiving a tip of a possible suspect behind the fake account, investigators responded to Yulee Middle School and interviewed Rayvon Little. While talking to her, she changed her story several times and tried to deflect responsibility toward other students. Her phone was then seized for evidence and a warrant obtained to download content. A forensic search of the 13-year-old's phone revealed the profile picture and other images linked to the TikTok account in question. She eventually admitted she created the account in the name of the other student, downloading an old yearbook photo, pretending to be that person, and posted negative comments. She later wrote an apology letter for what she had done, and she said she was just making a joke. Well, this is no joke. Rayvon Little was arrested for written electronic threats to kill and aggravated stalking, which are both felonies. No matter your age, threats of this nature come with serious consequences. Not only did this child make disturbing threats, but she did so using the identity of another student whose reputation was unfairly damaged in the process. Let this serve as a reminder for parents to closely monitor their child's activity on any device. Little was booked into the Nassau County Jail and Detention Center yesterday. I want to remind parents to closely monitor their children's use of online services. Make sure you have their passwords and conduct regular searches, and have open communication with your child about their safety to help prevent cybercrime, and never post hoax threats online. I would now like to call up Amy Weiss and her son, Aaron.
Thank you. I thought it would be important for everyone to know the viewpoint from the victim side. This is something that affected our entire family. So not only do you feel completely helpless because you can't protect your son from something that is on such a large platform, but to know that he's been accused of something as awful as what's been charged, with his face being put all over social media through text messaging and gossip, and knowing that you can't stop it, to the point that you have neighbors who no longer want to speak with you. You have to question whether or not you're safe even leaving the house, to even wondering if we should think about moving. The damage that it's caused him is why we wanted to be here today, and to show that he is not the one who was behind those accounts. We live in a small community, and I think it's important that hopefully somebody learns from this, and that they understand that as a parent, you are responsible for what your children are doing. And I know in our household, our kids cannot have social media. We are not the popular parents. Everything is monitored, because giving your child, especially a young teenager, any kind of unlimited access with a phone or internet or these social media platforms, and not giving them boundaries or monitoring what they're doing, you have no idea what's really going on. And for somebody to sit behind a keyboard and think that this was just funny, to use my son's name and his face, it's inexcusable. And I'm sorry, but actions have consequences, and kids need to learn that. But, and I really hope at some point there can be maybe a greater dialogue open towards TikTok. The parental controls that are in place for these platforms, they're not there to protect your children. They're there because they're making money, and there needs to be tighter guidelines. Just trying to get my son's account, or this fake account, taken down, it was nearly impossible. You can fill out all the forms and do everything they tell you to do, but they don't respond. So, you want to talk about what it did for you?
it mainly just made me feel scared. It made me feel hurt over the fact that my name was being used in such a horrible way, and it made me feel so sad. It made me feel unsafe, and I felt like I couldn't even leave my own home. I'm I'm really glad I have a loving family who's able to do so much for me, and I really do hope that more stricted guidelines are used on social media platforms like this.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate you having the courage to come forward and educate others on the dangers of what people do online and how it affects others personally. So now we'd like to call up NCSO victim advocate Tasha Addison, and she's going to talk about some apps.
Thank you, Sheriff. As parents, we can't monitor our children 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But what we can do in this age and technology is install apps on our children's phones, like the Bark app, for one. And it just monitors everything that your child is doing. If there's hate speech, if there's dark language, if there's profanity, anything like that, the Bark app will flag that, and it'll send you, the parent, a notification to let you know that this is going on the child's phone. And also, three other things that we can do as parents is what I call the 3 T's. And everybody can do this. 1, talk to your children. Check in with them daily. See if they're okay. The next thing that we can do is teach them that the golden rule is treat people the way that you want to be treated. And lastly, train your children, instill good values into them so that when they're away from us, when they're out of sight, out of mind, all of those values follow the children. Bullying is definitely unfortunate. However, resources are definitely available, not just for victims, but even for the bullies. You can call my office at any time. Does it have to be because you have a case number? I always want to be the prevention before detention. So please, always, always, always just check in with your children. Thank you.
Thanks, Tasha. Now that school's back in session, we hear all the time in different areas, some student is making a threat against a school or another individual, and there are consequences. Unfortunately, you have to learn those consequences. We hate arresting kids, but when they violate the law, when they commit felonies, then we're going to show who they are. If you don't want your child shown, tell them don't do something like this. So. If anybody has any questions.
Could you help me understand the aggravated stalking charge? Were these threats directed like towards an individual student?
Another female student, yeah.
Gotcha. Obviously Florida has been trying to address the issue of social media, or minors using social media. I believe the law, if you're under the age of 14, you can't have a social media account, is currently blocked. Do you think if that were in place, this could have been prevented, or?
Well, it would help. People find ways to get around laws somehow, but it basically goes back to the home. The parents need to take charge of their children. Be the parent. Sometimes parents want to be the child's friend. There's plenty of time for that later on. You need to teach them right from wrong. There's consequences for your actions, and just do what's right.
The suspect in this case, or the plan to charge them as an adult or prosecute them as an adult?
That'll be left up to the state attorney's office, but they've been charged with 2 felonies.
You said that the suspect expressed some remorse for this, I guess, but...
Somewhat. She did write an apology, apologized to the school and anybody she may have hurt, but that was a little bit too late.
Do you have any idea why Aaron was chosen out of anyone? Was there a relation between the students at some point, or?
She did used to be my friend because we were very good friends in school. I think she specifically chose me because she knew I was not coming back and she thought she could use that as a great source for drama.
How did that make you feel? I mean, somebody who was once your friend is saying all this horrible stuff and pretending to be you.
It made me feel awful. I felt like, why does this have to happen to me? Like, I know some of those things that she said on the account were directed towards me, but the fact that she'd even think about using me just makes me feel awful.
I wanted to ask you a question. So this is super difficult. I can't even imagine what you're going through. How are you handling this? This is such a public situation at such a young age.
I've found ways to manage it because I'm more managing it by just realizing that she was going to get caught and I know it's not me. And while I feel so bad and I feel so horrible that she used me to do stuff like this, I've really learned that she's not going to get away with this. And I think that's made me feel better knowing that there's no way she was going to get off the hook. So, yeah.
And you're also 13 or 14?
I am 13 years old.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank y'all very much.